Good morning. Today we'll be studying the 11th chapter of Tefila, Birkat, Cohanim. And just a quick introduction to this chapter, which will speak about the Bet HaKnesset, or the synagogue. There is a very interesting pasuk in Sefer Yehezkel, Perek Yod Aleph, pasuk Tet Vav, and it'll give us a little bit of a taste of the Bet HaKnesset and something that we can look for in this chapter. The pasuk goes the following: "Va'ehi lahem mikdash me'at ba'aratzot asher ba'u shama." It's as if God is saying that He, so to speak, will be for the Jewish people on a pretty, on a slight level in a way, that God will be for them a mikdash in the land that the Jews have arrived to. And obviously Yehezkel is speaking after the Galut, and Chachamim make a derasha and say that God is referring, when he speaks about a mikdash me'at, God is speaking about batei knesiyot and batei midrashot. And we'll see in the chapter there are many parallels that we have in the Bet HaKnesset that parallel the Bet HaMikdash. And as a result, the Bet HaKnesset is called Mikdash Me'at sometimes in rabbinic literature. So let's get right into it. Halacha Aleph. And again, I'll try and point out the best I can the parallels to the Bet HaMikdash, but feel free to expand on your own. הלכה א', כל מקום שיש בו 10 מישראל צריך להכין בו בית הכנסת שייכנסו בו לתפילה בכל עת תפילה. In every place that there are 10 Jewish men above 13, they are obligated to prepare a house in which they assemble at every moment that they are obligated to pray. ומקום זה הוא הנקרא בית הכנסת. And this place is called Bet HaKnesset, or House of Assembly. For now we'll call it Bet HaKnesset. וחופין בני העיר זה את זה לבנות להן בית הכנסת ולקנות להם ספר תורה, נביאים וכתובים. And we compel the members of the city to build themselves a Bet HaKnesset, and not only that, we also compel them to buy Sifrei Torah and books of the prophets and of the writings. And just you can notice, as we mentioned before in Mishne Tora, the emphasis of the Jewish people on Torah study and the education that we try and encourage. הלכה ב' כשבונים בית הכנסת אין בונים אותו אלא בגובהה של העיר. Whenever building a Bet HaKnesset, it is only built on the highest part of the city. שנאמר בראש הומיות תקרא, as the pasuk in Mishle says, that you shall call from the high places. And this is one parallel to the Bet HaMikdash, as the Bet HaMikdash itself was built on Har HaMoriah, on a mountain. So too, Bet HaKnesset should be built on a high place. ומגביהין אותו עד שיהיה גבוה מכל חצות העיר. And it is raised, and it should be built at the same height as some of the other houses of the city that are obviously also at high places. Shne'emar, as the pasuk in Ezra says, "Uloromem et bet Elohenu," to exalt the house of our Lord. Ve'en pothin pithe bet HaKnesset ela lemizrach, and the doors of the Bet HaKnesset are only made on the east side, and this is also a parallel to the Bet HaMikdash, as the doors of the Bet HaMikdash were also from the east, and they would face the west. And Harambam in the Moreh Nevuchim, Chelek Shelishi, actually says that the reason for this was in order for the people to give their back to the sun, as the sun was one of the gods that was worshipped in antiquity. Shne'emar v'achonim lifnei mishkan kedma, as the pasuk says in Bamidbar, that the following are those who encamp the Mishkan in the east, and it talks about Moshe's camp and Aharon's camp and the rest of the Cohanim. Uvonim bo hechal shemanichim bo sefer Torah, and a shrine is built in which the Sefer Torah is placed. And this shrine is built, people pray towards, the people in that city pray towards, as they should face the Hechal when they are engaged in Tefila. Halacha Gimel. And a platform is erected in the Bet HaKnesset. כדי שיעלה עליה הקורא בתורה, ומי שהוא אומר לעם דברי כיבושין, in order for whoever is reading the Torah may stand up there, or whoever is reproofing the nation can stand and reproof them from there, כדי שישמעו כולן, in order for everyone to listen. וכשמעמידים התיבה שיש בה ספר תורה, מעמידים אותה באמצע. And the desk or table on which the Torah is placed on is put in the middle of the room and amongst the congregation. And its back, the back of the desk is facing towards the Hechal. And the front of it is facing the people. Halacha Daled. And our Rambam actually in this halacha is going to give us something very, very interesting that still does exist in certain communities, and it's the layout of the Bet HaKnesset and how exactly Bet HaKnesset should be laid out. How should people sit in Bet HaKnesset? And what is exactly the structure of the Bet HaKnesset specifically? The elders and the wise of the city sit, and their back is they face the people, and their backs are towards the Hechal. And the rest of the nation sit in rows. And each row is one in front of the other. And there are rows that continue until each one of the people face the Hechal and face the Zekenim and face the Teva in order. Notice Harambam says Lifnei HaKodesh, maybe an allusion to the Bet HaMikdash, and the idea that we mentioned that the Bet HaKnesset alludes and is a manifestation of the Shekhinah, just as the Bet HaMikdash was. And here, when he says Lifnei HaKodesh, he's actually referring to the Hechal. So, again, you would have the Hechal, then you would have the Zekenim that would face, and their backs would be towards the Hechal, and their face would be towards the people. Then you would have the people sitting in rows, facing the Hechal, and in front of the Hechal were the Zekenim. ובעת ששליח ציבור עומד לתפילה, עומד בארץ לפני התיבה. And at the moment that the Shaliach Tzibur gets up to pray, he stands on the floor before the Teva. ופניו לפני הקודש כשאר העם, and he faces the Kodesh just as the rest of the nation. And again, notice how Rambam uses the word Kodesh. Again, probably an allusion to the Bet HaMikdash. But here, obviously, it means the Hechal. הלכה ה' בתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות נוהגין בהן כבוד. Whenever someone is in the Bet HaKnesset, in the Bet Midrash study hall, one must behave with respect. מכבדין אותן ומרבצין אותן. Their floors are swept and cleaned with water. ונהגו כל העם בספרד ובמערב, and it is actually customary by all Jews, both in Spain and in the West, Mishinar ve'Eretz Hatzevi, in Iraq and in Israel, Eretz Israel is called Eretz Hatzevi. it's a land that is desired. להדליק עששיות בבתי הכנסיות, to light candles that are covered in glass, and this is still a custom today, possibly an allusion to the menorah. Obviously, not exactly, but it could be. And to spread carpets on their floors in order to sit in them. And in the Christian countries, or Europe, יושבים שם על הכיסאות. The people sit on chairs, and the most important thing is to follow the minhag of the place and to build beit knesiyot according to whatever is the norm in whatever place you are. הלכה ו' בתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות אין נוהגים בהן קלות ראש, and Harambam actually begins this halacha the same way he began the previous halacha, but goes to the negative side, in contrast to the positive side that he mentioned before. אין נוהגים בהן קלות ראש, כגון שיחות והיטל ושיחה בטלה. In a Bet Knesset and Bet Midrash, it is prohibited to act light-headed and joking and to, in a mockery way, and to speak in idle conversations. ואין אוכלים בהן ואין שותים בהן ואין נאותים בהן ואין מטיילים בהן. And it is prohibited to eat or drink in them, or to indulge oneself in them, or to walk around and to pleasure oneself in that way. ואין נכנסים להן לא בחמה ולא מפני החמה ולא בגשמים מפני הגשמים. And it is forbidden to enter a Bet HaKnesset, specifically in the summer, in order to escape and seek relief from the heat. So too in the winter, it is prohibited to try and find refuge or relief in the Bet HaKnesset just because of the rain. והחכמים ותלמידיהן מותרים לאכול ולשתות בהן מדוחק. And the sages and their students are allowed to eat and drink in the Bet HaKnesset in extraneous situations. הלכה ז' ואין מחשבים בהן חשבונות. And it's prohibited to speak about monetary calculations or business, אלא אם כן היו חשבונות של המצווה, unless it was for calculations of a mitzvah, כגון קופה של צדקה, for example, the charity box, ופדיון שבויים, and releasing those who are captive, וכיוצא בהן, in any other situation in which money would be involved, it is allowed to speak about that in the Bet HaKnesset. ואין מספידים בהן אלא הספד של הרבים, and it is forbidden to eulogize in the Bet HaKnesset unless it is a hesped in which the public has great interest in. כיוון שיהיה שם הספד גדולי חכמי אותה העיר. For example, if there was a eulogy that one of the great sages of the city would attend, שכל העם מתקבצים ובאים בגללן, that the entire nation would come in respect for this hacham, and in that situation, it would be allowed to have the eulogy in the Bet HaKnesset. הלכה ח' היה לבית הכנסת או לבית המדרש שני פתחים. If in a Bet HaKnesset or Bet Midrash there were two doors, לא יעשנה דרך כדי שייכנס בפתח זה ויצא בפתח שכנגדו לקרב הדרך. It is prohibited to use the Bet HaKnesset or Bet Midrash as a shortcut or a passage to enter from one way and go out the next, in order to use it as a shortcut. שאסור להיכנס להן אלא לדבר מצווה, as it is prohibited to enter the Bet HaKnesset or the Bet Midrash unless you are doing so for a mitzvah. הלכה ט' מי שצריך להיכנס לבית הכנסת לקרות תינוק או חברו, anyone who had to enter Bet HaKnesset or the Bet Midrash to call his son or a young person, or even to call his neighbor, ייכנס ויקרא מעט או יאמר שמועה ואחר כך יקרא חברו. He should enter the Bet HaKnesset or the Bet Midrash, say or recite a pasuk or two, and or say some words of halacha that he received, and only then should he call his friend. כדי שלא ייכנס בשביל חפצו בלבד, in order not to make his entry solely for himself and for his own desires. ואם אינו יודע, however, if he doesn't know how to recite any פסוקים or any halachot, יאמר לאחד מן התינוקות, קרא לי פסוק שאתה קורא בו. He should call to one of the young children there and ask him, which pasuk are you reciting? Or you should remain in the Bet HaKnesset for a little bit and only then leave. As the sitting in the Bet HaKnesset is considered immersion in the mitzvot. As the pasuk says, praiseworthy be he who sits in your house. מי שנכנס לקרות או להתפלל בפתח זה, מותר לו לצאת בפתח שכנגדו כדי לקרב את הדרך. Anyone who entered to recite pesukim or to read from one entrance may leave from a second entrance in order to make his passage shorter. This is obviously different from what we mentioned before, that this individual comes with the intent to read or to pray, and does so from one entrance and stays in the Bet, has the intent to stay in the Bet HaKnesset for a while and only then leaves from a different place. ומותר לאדם להיכנס לבית הכנסת במקלו ומנעלו ובפונדתו, ואם צריך לרוק, רוקק בבית הכנסת. And this is actually reminiscent of Hilchot Bet HaBechira, that in the Bet HaMikdash it is forbidden for one to enter the Bet HaMikdash with his staff and with shoes or with an undershirt, and more specifically Harabayit. And here Harambam feels the need to address the fact that one may enter the Bet HaKnesset with his staff and with his shoes and with his undershirt, as probably to alert us to some of the parallels, and Harambam here again clearly feels the need to tell us that it is allowed to enter the Bet HaKnesset with all of these items. And if an individual felt the need to spit, he may do so in the Bet HaKnesset. Halacha Yod Aleph. בתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות שחרבו, any Bet Knesset or Bet Mikdash that was destroyed, בקדושתן הן עומדים, they still retain their sacred status. שנאמר והשימותי את מקדשכם, as the pasuk in Vayikra says, I will make desolate your mikdash, your temples. And obviously here, Harambam and the Gemara do just juxtapose the mikdash to the Bet HaKnesset, as they learn dinim from the Bet HaKnesset from a pasuk that is referring to the mikdash. Despite the fact that they are destroyed, they still retain their kedusha. And just as an individual is obligated to behave in a certain way while they are while the Bet HaMikdash or Bet HaKnesset are up and are in existence, one must behave in the same way while they are destroyed. One must behave in the same way in the Bet HaKnesset and in the Bet HaMikdash while they are destroyed. Chutz mikibud veribud, except for sweeping and washing the Bet HaKnesset, the Bet HaMikdash, she'en mechabedin otan ve'en marbitzin, that we do not sweep or wash the Bet HaKnesset while they are destroyed, obviously. Alu b'hem asavim, if there was grass that grew in the Bet HaKnesset, the destroyed Bet HaKnesset, the Bet HaMikdash, toshin otan u'menichin otan bimkoman, we extract the grass, we pull out the grass, and actually put it on the floor and place it on the floor. In order for the people to see it and for their minds and spirits to be stirred, and they'll make an effort to try and rebuild the Bet HaKnesset and Bet HaMikdash that were destroyed. Halacha Yod Bet. אין סותרים בית הכנסת כדי לבנות אחר במקומו או במקום אחר. It's forbidden to destroy or take apart a בית הכנסת in order to build another in its place or another in another place. אבל בונים אחר ואחר כך סותרים זה. Rather, the procedure should be the following: that first one should build, or a community should build a בית הכנסת, and only then take apart the other one. שמא יארע להם אונס ולא יבנו. So that, because, and the reason for this, and the reason that we first build the Beit HaKnesset and only then destroy the other one, is that something might come up and cause the community to use their money for other purposes, and they won't end up building the Beit HaKnesset, and they'll be left without a Beit HaKnesset. אפילו כותל אחד ממנו, even one wall of the Beit HaKnesset, בונה חדש בצד הישן, ואחר כך סותר הישן. It is forbidden to destroy an existing wall of the Beit HaKnesset unless there was one already built. במה דברים אמורים? שלא חרבו יסודותיו. When is this said? Is it only said in a situation in which a Beit HaKnesset, its foundations were not destroyed. אבל אם חרבו יסודותיו, או שנטו כתליו לנפול, סותרים אותו מיד. However, if its foundations were destroyed or its walls were about to fall, it may be taken apart right away. ומתחילים לבנותו במהרה ביום ובלילה. And the Beit HaKnesset should be built right away in the day and at night. שמא תדחק השעה ויישאר חרב. That the hour may delay and the Beit HaKnesset might stay in its distressed and destroyed state. And just a quick note, in this deen, we actually differ from the Beit HaMikdash, as the Beit HaMikdash, I believe, is only to be built during the day. הלכה י"ד. מותר לעשות בית הכנסת ובית המדרש, אבל בית המדרש אין עושים אותו בית הכנסת. It is allowed to make a בית הכנסת and make that into a בית מדרש, אבל בית המדרש אין עושים אותו, but a בית המדרש may not be made into a בית הכנסת. שקדושת בית המדרש יתרה על קדושת בית הכנסת, as the kedusha of a study hall is greater than the kedusha of a synagogue, as we mentioned before in Mishne Tora. And the principal rule, as we did mention in Mishne Tora, is that we go up in levels of kedusha and we don't go down, and we go to the more degree of sacredness, and we don't go down. And similarly, people who sold the Beit HaKnesset may take that money and use it for a teva. מכרו teva, if they sold a teva, יש להם לקח בדמיה מטפחות או תיק לספר תורה. They are allowed to take and use the money that they made as a cloth used for the Sefer Torah or for the case of the Sefer Torah. מכרו מטפחת או תיק, if they sold the cloth used for the Sefer Torah or the case of the Sefer Torah, לוקחים בדמיו חומשים. We buy חומשים with it. מכרו חומשים, if they sold חומשים, לוקחים Sefer Torah, they can use that money for Sefer Torah. אבל אם מכרו Sefer Torah, however, if they sold a Sefer Torah, אין לוקחים בדמיו אלא Sefer Torah אחר. They may only use the proceeds for another Sefer Torah. שאין שם קדושה למעלה מספר תורה, as there is no degree of kedusha like Sefer Torah. וכן במותריהן. And for all of these items and proceeds, the money that one used to buy all of them, the money left over for that proceeds also may only be used to buy a sacred item, more sacred than whatever they sold. הלכה ט"ו. וכן אם גבו מן העם מעות לבנות בית המדרש ובית הכנסת. Similarly, if the people collected money to build a Bet Midrash or Bet Knesset, או לקנות תיבה או מטפחת ותיק או ספר תורה, ורצו לשנות כל שגבו, and if they collected money for a specific purpose, either for Bet Midrash or Bet Knesset, or to buy a teva or a mitpachat or a case for the Sefer Torah or Sefer Torah itself, and they wish to change the purpose for whatever they collected, אין משנין אותו אלא מקדושה קלה לקדושה חמורה ממנה. They may only substitute and use the proceeds for an object with a higher degree of kedusha, as we laid out exactly what they were in the previous halacha. As we only substitute for a more degree of kedusha, not a less degree. אבל אם עשו מה שגבו לעשות והותירו, משנין המותר לכל מה שירצו. However, if they wish to use the money left over after they bought whatever they wished to buy, they may use the leftover money for whatever they wish. וכל כלי בית הכנסת כבית הכנסת, and any vessels of the Bet HaKnesset are considered as if they are part of the Bet HaKnesset in terms of the degree of Kedusha. פרוכת שעל הארון שמניחים בו הספרים כמטפחות הספרים, the curtain on which is on the place that houses the Torah scrolls are like the wraps of the Torah scrolls and the cloth used to cover the Sifra Torah. ואם התנו עליהם, הרי הן כפי התנאי. And if stipulations were made in regards to any of these articles, the stipulations must be fulfilled. תז. במה דברים אמורים שמותר למכור בית הכנסת? When is this said that it is allowed to sell a בית הכנסת? בבית הכנסת של הכפרים. This is only said in regards to בית הכנסת that is in a village. שלא עשו אותה אלא על דעת בני הכפר לבדם, שתהיה להם להתפלל בה. As members of the village only made the בית הכנסת and what they had in mind is that only the members of the village would use the Bet HaKnesset to pray there. And in regards to a Bet HaKnesset in a village, if they wish to sell the Bet HaKnesset, they may do so in the proper order and in the situations and stipulations that we mentioned before. However, in regards to a city of a large, in regards to a city and a Bet HaKnesset in a city, because there are many passerbys in larger cities, the synagogue and the Bet HaKnesset was made with the intent that it would be used by all. Anyone that would enter that city would pray and use the Bet HaKnesset. By making a Bet HaKnesset in a city, it has actually been made for the entire corpus of the Jewish people. And it is forbidden to ever sell a Bet HaKnesset in a city. Any members of the city that did wish to sell their Bet HaKnesset, or לבנות בדמים בית הכנסת אחר, או לקנות בדמים תיבה או תורה, or if they wish to sell the Bet HaKnesset and use the proceeds to build another Bet HaKnesset, or to use the proceeds to buy a teva or a sefer Torah, צריכים להתנות על הלוקח, שלא יעשה אותו לא מרחץ ולא ברוסיקי, והוא המקום שמעבדין באורות, לא יעשה בית תבילה ולא בית המים. If they did want to sell the Bet HaKnesset, they must stipulate upon whoever is buying the Bet HaKnesset that they will not make it into a bathhouse or a tannery. And again, a tannery, a bursaki, is a place that they would turn hide into leather, and it was not the nicest of places. Velo bet tevila, and not into a ritual bathhouse, laundry house that women would typically do laundry in, as none of these places are truly respectable in any way, and it would be pretty disgraceful for people to pass by and they would see the bathhouse or the bursaki and say, oh, this was actually where the Bet HaKnesset used to be housed. Therefore, we stipulate upon whoever's buying the Bet HaKnesset not to make it into one of those places listed. ואם ייתנו שבעי טובי העיר במעמד אנשי העיר בשעת מכירה שיהיה הלוקח, מותר לעשות בו כל אלו מותר. However, if there are 7 people that represent the city and publicly stipulate and agree that in the transaction that it is allowed, that it will be allowed for the buyer to make it into one of the places that we mentioned, the buyer is eventually allowed to do so. And again, this is only with the consent of the people. הלכה י"ח וכן אם ייתנו 7 טובי העיר במעמד ואנשי העיר על מותר הדמים שיהיו חולין, הרי אלו חולין. Similarly, if there were 7 people that represent the city in the presence of the people of the city that stipulated on the surplus of the money from the sale that may be used for any purpose, הרי אלו חולין, they can be used for any purpose. וכשלוקחין הדמים ובונים מהן בית הכנסת אחר, או שקנה מהן תיבה או מטפחת ותיק או ספרי ומשין או ספר תורה, השאר יהיו חולין כמו שהתנו ויעשו בו מה שירצו. And after they get the proceeds from the sale and build another Bet HaKnesset, or they use the proceeds to buy a teva or a mitpachat, or a case of the Sefer Torah, or the Humashim, or Sefer Torah itself, the remainder from the proceeds may become hulin, as they stipulated, and they can use the money for whatever purpose they need. הלכה י"ט וכן אם קיבלו עליהן כל אנשי העיר או רובן אדם אחד, כל מה שעשה עשוי. So too, if there was one person that the community authorized to make the decisions for the rest of the community, anything that he does is done. ומוכר ונותן לבדו כפי מה שיראה ויתנה כפי מה שיראה. And he may sell and buy and sell whatever he wishes and whatever he sees fit, and he may stipulate on whatever he sees fit as well. הלכה כ' כשם שמותר להם למכור בית הכנסת, כך נותנים אותן במתנה. Just as it is allowed for the people to sell בית הכנסת in this stipulate condition, on the conditions that we mentioned, כך נותנים אותו במתנה, it is allowed to give it away. שאילו לא היה להם לציבור הניה במתנה זו, לא נתונה. As for unless the community didn't derive benefit from this gift, they wouldn't have given it away. אבל לא שוכרים אותה ולא ממשכנים אותה. However, it is prohibited to rent out a בית הכנסת or pledge it as a security for a loan. וכן כשסותרים בית הכנסיות לבנותן, מותרים למכור או להחליף וליתן במתנה הלבנים והעצים והעפר שלהן. And when a בית הכנסת is destroyed and similarly when a בית הכנסת is destroyed in order to be rebuilt, it is allowed to switch or to sell or to give away as a gift the bricks and the wood and the dust that was part of the Beit HaKnesset. However, it is forbidden to lend them out. As it is prohibited to loan them out, the bricks and wood and the dust, as the Kiddusha only passes from them by benefit or by monetary sale or by transferring them to money. As gaining benefit is just like money, as we see in many places in the Gemara. Final halacha kaf aleph, rehovah shel ha'ir, the square of a city. אף פי שהעם מתפללים בו בתעניות ובמעמדות מפני הקיבוץ רב ואין בית הכנסת מכיל אותן, אין בו קידושה. Just because there are certain times that the tefillah is done in the public square, for example, during fast days or special services and special occasions, that there is a large assembly of people and the Beit HaKnesset cannot accommodate all of the people, there is no Kedusha in this square. Because as it is temporary, ולא נקבע לתפילה, and it was not established for tefillah, for prayer. וכן בתים בחצרות שהעם מתכנסים להם להתפלל, לתפילה, אין בהם קידושה. And similarly, any houses or courtyard that people sometimes gather to pray there is no kedusha in any of these places. אין בהם קידושה, מפני שלא קבעו אותן לתפילה בלבד, as they were not solely designated for prayer. אלא ארעי מתפללים בהן, rather people pray there temporarily and sometimes, כאדם שמתפלל בתוך ביתו, as sometimes an individual prays in his house, and there is no kedusha in the house that an individual prays in, as it is only a temporary praying place, in contrast to a Bet HaKnesset, that the sole purpose of the Bet HaKnesset is for prayer.